Hi. Here we are in the dead of winter where I am in my part of the world, and all I can do is think about warmer weather. But there's something that's not right because most of the other YouTubers that review fragrances are in the northern hemisphere where it's the dead of summer, or the height of summer, let's say. And all I can see is top 10 summer fragrances lists and things like that. So I'm thinking, wow, I gotta pull out some of my summer fragrances and talk about them as well, because it's just not fair. And maybe wearing some summer fragrances or talking or smelling some summer fragrances will also make me feel a little bit warmer. Maybe, just maybe, bring summer closer to me in my mind. So today I'm going to be talking about probably the top 10 most boring summer fragrances. Boring! And boring is probably not the right word to describe it, because I want to talk about the ones that are talked about most often. And the reason for that is because they're probably liked by the most people and the most people-pleasing, and the ones that have had the most hype, the most marketing, and you've probably heard them all before. And I wanted to share with you my take on these because I've heard so much about them from everybody else. So here we go. Roll the music. No, I don't have music. So I just have background music. I don't have an intro credits or anything like that yet. Let's start off with the first, the one, the only, this one right here, which is Davidoff Cool Water. No, I'm kidding. Not that one. Anything but that. That is what I use to punish myself when I've been a naughty boy. Let's start with the real first one, and one that I got more recently, which is this one right here. This is Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense. I still like it, but I think it had its time and place, and that was last summer, where I used this one quite heavily. As you can see, half the bottle is missing. It is a 50 ml, and almost half the bottle is missing already. And that is because I decanted it into one of my little spray testers that I have, like this, like little spray vials that I keep around. And I thought, hey, it'd be a good idea if I just kept this in the car to refresh myself, because everybody was talking about how non-long lasting this was, how the longevity just wasn't there. I believe that most people are getting anosmic to it, and that's why they're not able to smell themselves. This is a beast. For a summer fragrance, it's a beast. But the thing is, the citruses that are there in the opening, they dissipate real quick, as citruses generally do. But it's that sort of salty sea sort of smell that's there all the way to the base, to the next day even. And especially if you've sprayed it on clothes, you can still smell it. It's that salty sort of seawatery kind of vibe that you get from this. I still think it's brilliant, but everybody's talked about it. It's been talked to death, and therefore it becomes boring. Next. So next we have another boring one. It's this one right here. It is Versace's Mano Fresh, and I've talked about this a few times before. I'm not even going to take it out of the box because you know what it looks like. You've probably heard other people talk about it. I really like it. It's a lot of fun. I didn't think I would like something that's so well liked by so many others, but how could you not like this? It's just fun. It's just like fun in a bottle, and I can so see myself wearing this in the high heat of the summer, as do many other people. So that one, Versace Mano Fresh. And so the next one's a little bit of a throwback, and it's this one right here. I never actually wore this in the 90s when it was released. I wore many other things, but just not this one. I think I did smell it at a friend's house who had it, because pretty much everybody had this, but I never had it. So I got it only recently as well, and I really like it. And I could only imagine what it was like back in the 90s in its original formulation. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find one of those, but I think this is actually still pretty good. I tend to overspray this one quite a bit. Actually, I'll show you. As in, like that. I've only worn this like a handful of times. In true style, I have oversprayed this, but it's actually not bad. The longevity's okay for a freshie, but I think it can be worn in the high summer heat. So Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. that guy. And the next one is this one, which caught a little bit of hype in the last few years, I guess. It is Ferrari's Bright Neroli. And what can I say about this one other than it's really nice? And this one I've definitely oversprayed because I've taken this with me in the summer to the office in an air-conditioned environment even. And look at that. I've gone through almost half my bottle, and that's like a lot for me. And it's just a testament to how many times I've actually worn it because it's such a dumb reach in the high summer heat. Because when you don't actually want to make the effort to smell like anything else, you can smell like this and not really have to think about it very much. Again, very boring, but it's just so good. That's what makes it boring. The next one that I think has been talked about quite a bit, all hyped up, especially now that it's been discontinued, is this one right here. This is Nautica Essenza. So the Essenza is what I call a spicier take on the original. And the original has probably lost a little bit of its luster, lost a little bit of its sheen because of all the reformulations that it's gone under. And I did smell it recently. It's not that great. I've only got a little bottle of it because that's all I could find without having to pay, $300-400 for a big bottle. It still brings back memories of the 90s of when I did used to wear Acqua di Gio, because who didn't wear Acqua di Gio in the 90s? I don't really know. I don't think there's a human left on Earth that didn't wear it. What I like about this also is that they've tried to make the actual nozzle, the spray. What do you call that thing? The tube inside is transparent almost. Cool, huh? But yeah, this one a little spicier take on the original, not as dark as the Profumo. Everybody seems to like Profondo. I don't know about that, but I haven't had a chance to smell the new one, City Lights, I think it's called. I haven't seen it around in any department stores yet since we've been out of lockdown anyway. So this one, boring because it's just been prominent for like the last 30 something years. Yeah. The next one on the list is this one right here. It is Acqua Amara by Bulgari. And I really didn't think that I would like this, but oh my God, I really, really do. I really, really, really do. It's a really nice scent. Like, how can I describe this other than it's like Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense, but heaps better than that. Because it does the top note, that little, it just does that mandarin sort of note at the very top. Yum, really well. There's my daily dose of vitamin C. Thanks, Bulgari. I think it does that really well, and I think that the citrus hangs around quite a bit longer than the light citrus that's at the top of Light Blue Eau Intense. And this also has, I wouldn't call, actually, yeah, I would. It's beast mode. This stuff is beast mode. It's really, and I hate using that term because everything's beast mode now. That used to mean something, but now it doesn't. So even fragrances are beast mode. Figure that out. So Bulgari Acqua Amara. I remember that. I remember the original Acqua. I think it's too light. I think it's way too generic smelling. It used to be cool. It probably isn't now. And I think the BLV is also quite nice, deceptively nice, which I haven't had the chance to get my hands on as yet. But this one, so far, my favorite out of all of the Acqua line, the Acqua Amara, deserves the hype. I think I've said it before. Okay, and next on the list we have this one right here, which is Dunhill's Icon, as you can see. Gorgeous bottle, gorgeous juice. People really talk about this because of the neroli note that's in here, and they seem to think it's exotic, and it's really classy, and it's elegant. It can do no wrong. For me, neroli, I've got a whole heap of scent memories tied to that particular type of scent. And for me, so this smells like pastries to me. It smells like sweets, because that's what I grew up smelling. But even though I have a very large familiarity with neroli, I still like it. I still really like this. This is awesome. And the pepper with it as well. I've worn this in the winter as well, and I've worn it in the height of summer. It just works. It just works all the time. Gorgeous bottle, gorgeous juice, feels great in the hand. it is an icon, really. It has really lived up to its name. And so therefore, it gets talked about so much, and it's so nice, it's so versatile that it gets boring, unfortunately. Next on this list is this one right here, which is Mugler's Cologne. Everybody knows the story of this one, Thierry Mugler, who went to a hotel and found some soap that he liked the smell of, and he wanted a fragrance that smelled like that soap. So it smells like really nice soap. Really, really nice soap, as a matter of fact. So clean, so fresh. You can't really do anything wrong. There's nothing funky going on in the background here. It's all flowers and citrus. That's all it is. A lot of people say that this is a nice cheapie. I tend to disagree. This is actually quite expensive where I'm at. And for what it is, because it's a cologne, even though it's an eau de toilette, it really just does not last very long. Because there's really no fixatives in the base that will affix itself to your skin. So the longevity is not there. I've used it up. I try to use it up, not that much, because I really like the smell. And a lot of people have the 300 ml bottle, which to me, why don't you just get a cologne? Because they smell almost identical. But it's still a really nice fragrance. And because of that, it gets talked about a lot, and it's been talked about a lot. It's been reviewed a lot, and it's on all the summer lists all the time. So it's boring. And last but not least is this one right here, which is L'Homme Ideal Cologne by Guerlain. This one, Lord, I love this one. I left the best to last, didn't I? Oh, this one it just makes me happy. It makes me happy wearing this. And I think, I'm wrong. It doesn't make me happy wearing this. I reach for this when I'm in a happy mood, and this just amplifies my mood because it just suits it. It matches it, and that's what it does. That sort of that almond and grapefruit and that nice sort of soft creaminess of it. It just puts you in a good mood. It's like a really nice soft filter. It's the afternoon sun that's not harsh, you know, that that sunlight in the afternoon that's coming through, it's very diffuse, and it's like that, but at the same time it's invigorating. So I can't say enough good about this one. I've got 3 bottles of it, so I'm safe because it's been discontinued and the prices are going up. Unfortunately, I mean, they're not going up that much that it's not affordable. You're still able to find them on the grey market, but I don't know why they discontinued it, because if they left it going, then they would have made a lot more people happier. But yeah, that's my last one. Unfortunately, because it was so critically acclaimed, let's say, that it got talked about all the time. It didn't get hype, but it got rightly, justifiably praised for its merits of being a really solid fragrance. And considering this was $18 for a 50 ml bottle, I think ridiculously good value, right? That price value proposition is enormously fantastic. And even at the sort of jacked up prices now on the internets, I think it's still decent value if you want something like this. I'd at least get a test over it if you've never smelled it before, because it's really something that I don't know how you could dislike this. It's really good, and the longevity is good as well. I can't really say anything bad about it, and neither can anyone else. And that's what makes it boring, unfortunately. And so that's it. That's my list of however many fragrances that was in that list. You know me, I really don't do numbers very well. Of boring fragrances because everyone's talked about them, everyone's praised them, everyone's hyped them, and whilst they're really good, and they're still really good, they're just boring. And that's what happens to things that get talked about or overly talked about, because we like a little bit of variety in our lives. That's why. Possibly next up, I'm going to bring you a different video of non-boring things, so stay tuned for that. And as always, thanks for watching.